slogan.
Yeah. In terms of the science, I think the climate science has really developed well, and we should listen to what this climate science has to say about the challenges that we face. And we haven't done that. In fact, that's been deliberately undermined for decade after decade now by the oil companies, but by lots more organizations as well. But I'm less keen on necessarily listening to the scientists when it comes to what we should do about this. It has elements of science in it. It has elements of social science in it. It has elements of humanities in it. All of those things are mixed together. It's innately political. Doing something about it is innately political. And there are no optimized science answers to that. Whereas in the science, we can do the neat physics and the science. We can do the calculations and the maths. And we can provide a nice output from that, or an accurate output from that. You can't do that on mitigation. You can't do that on reducing emissions. How you should reduce the emissions in China, the policies you should put in place, the types of technologies you might consider will be different from what you would get in Sweden, and they'll be different from what you would get in Germany. So how we respond to climate change is much more sort of political and cultural. And what we've done, though, is completely frame this response in a particular sort of world view of how the world should be, a particular economic, political view of the world. In 2022, we've used up almost all of our emission space in terms of temperature rise. And so now we face a challenge that is way beyond our current political framing of climate change. So we have to question that. And here I am concerned that many of the scientists who feed into this debate on the mitigation side are unprepared to question that. And so what we have repeatedly done is sweeten the pill. We've turned the dials up on our models that say, let's rely on future generations to develop technologies to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Because if you do that, you haven't got to say, well, how do we stop a lot of our aviation in the next 1 year? How do we make sure we don't sell any more four-wheel drive cars, or that we phase out petrol and diesel cars by 2025? How do you put those policies in, that there are no more houses that are built that are over 150 square meters, that people don't have second homes, and all of those things that have meant that we're consuming as individuals, both energy and broader sustainability issues, way above any level that is sustainable. And there, I think we have to be careful about listening to the scientists, because I think we are on mitigation. I think we're part of the problem. I call it mitigation denial. We deny, and those of us who have worked on the climate science often deny what that science requires us to do. To me, that's mitigation denial. So I'm cautious about how we use that language.